There we go. Right into the game, right into the action here, Infinity. And there you go. You know, we have no one was taken out, right? No one was taken out, but Darius very low there. It looks like we got a summer out from Fearless here on the Braum, and they're going to be playing very aggressively here on top of the jungle.
Yeah, I love it. Because the way
There
you
we
have the
go.
Braum concussive blows is really strong.
Yeah, yeah, true. And concussive blows, that passive, right, can be really strong. And I don't know, they just don't want to give Mischance here the chance to really, start jungling.
Yeah. And I think Rengar really needs to get those early kills and then to get those early aggression, especially with Wukong against the enemy team jungle. It's not as strong as level 1, as level 2. You need to go to level 3, you need to go to level 5 to maximize the potential of how Mischance is going to play this out. And I think Wisdom is so smart with a huge wisdom in trying to counter those power spike coming from MCL Warlock. So clever move right now from Golden Lions.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because we have pretty much, it looks like the 1-2-1 setup. We don't see that often anymore, do we, Infinity? And I mean, Varus Braum in the mid, and you can see Braum's really helping out, Braum's really helping out in the jungle there, but it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we have to take note, they did secure both scuttles as well, so it gives them, that advantage there. And, we can see pretty much Domat here responding on the Alistair.
Yeah, and I think the reason for the 1-1-2-1, I guess this is not something that we see so often, but having the Braum and having the Varus into the mid lane could react actively with the Rengar, especially with how Wisdom played it out in the first minute and a half. He was so aggressive, and having those two in the mid lane could really gain you the advantage on getting the numbers advantage when it comes to the fight when Rengar goes aggressive in enemy jungle. So I think that is one of the reasons. And on top of all that, if you look at the map, they've secured 2 Rift Scuttlers in the first 2 minutes of the game. And I think that will be so detrimental for the side of Warlocks. Having no information does in the river side, and not getting information means that you are gonna struggle when it comes to the first 4 minutes wherein you don't know what's happening if there's a gank coming right through your lane.
Yeah, and you can see, right now Golden Lions flowing really well together. You can see they're already starting to set something up here. Rengar getting ready, even if they just take these, take these resources such as red buff, if they just take them from, Mischance here, it does set them back, and you can see slowly the gold lead starting to build up here because of this momentum that they have right now, that Golden Lions have.
And we just saw how firsthand how those roaming potential actually works. You saw a 2-man roam coming in from Golden Lions coming into topside jungle because Wisdom wants to go aggressive. And on top of all that, you have Tokage from Barrel Lane to go and respond as well. So 4 against 1 potential against Mischance if ever he comes into the red buff, which just forces out Warlocks into kind of the fringe edge on what they want to do. Especially right now, if you're looking at it, 4 minutes already, the Mountain Dragon already up, available in game, but Wukong still has no item built up. Yes, the Phage is up, the Sapphire Crystal is up, but what's next? That will only give you a few HP and a couple of damage against Golden Lions, which already has stocked up when it comes to the damage output, and Wisdom already has a lot of items to deal massive amounts of damage against Warlocks as well. So this is not looking favorable for Warlocks when it comes to the first Dragon objective, as Golden Lion looks to go mid.
Yeah, and I like what they're doing. They're really like taking their time to set this dragon up. It is a Mountain Drake, and it looks like they're gonna go ahead and pull the green light on this now. And again, Braum does have that redemption available to help with the team fight here, and you have the True Shot ROG coming out just to get some vision there. And there's some pokes. There's the redemption coming down. They're gonna go ahead and pull this dragon out as much as possible. Diana poking the back lane. Wukong waiting for the entrance. There's the Cyclone coming out, and now the dragon's getting really low. It gets smited by blue team. Nice Moonfall there. There's the damage coming out, but the blue team is retreating. Golden Lions have to go back, even though they got the dragon, and now they're looking for a couple kills here. They do manage to pick that up. Fizz getting knocked down by, they buffed up Darius. So there you go, the 5-1 plus the dragon. Let's take a look at the replay here. You have such a good ultimate coming out from Diana, setting that CC up really well. And now you have Varus in the backline just poking enough. And again, you have that Noxian Might from Darius and just putting out the damage on top of that Fizz as well.
Yeah, and that is what we're saying, right? The ultimate synergy of Golden Lions is going to be top notch in this first matchup. They have Wei Jiao with the Moonfall. You have Dux with all the roots possible from his ultimate, and Fearless is there as well to go for the Glacial Fissure. And on top of all that, tanking capabilities of Hokage and Fearless can defend on how Wei Jiao actually wants to go for the setup that they actually want. And they want against Warlocks, and typically, traditionally, you don't want to go flash to get the kill alone. But Golden Lions has gotten 2 secured kills after that, which means that Warlocks right now is in a 5k gold deficit, which is not really looking that favorable, and they have to force and give away the Rift Herald for the side of Golden Lions, which I do believe is gonna lead Golden Lions to more gold in the next couple of minutes. So Warlocks need to think of something, pull them down, and stop how the domino effect works right now for the side of Golden Lions.
Yeah, because they, they have that Rift Herald now. Of course, they have that, they have that dragon. They have the kills on top of that. So Rift Herald kind of secures that next turret for them, and that's, you can see them making a play up here in the Baron lane now. And again, there's not much the Warlocks can do to stop this momentum unless they manage to get a pick, which it looks like they're going to be coming to do here. They have an Alistair, they have the Garen, but the problem is, itemization-wise, when it comes to team fights, when it comes to clashes, they won't be able to really hold up. So I think right now they really need to find some type of pick, some type of, mistake from Golden Lions to really start to get back into this game.
Speaking of pick, I think they could go and collapse onto a single member of Golden Lions. I think that will be one of the opportunities right now. Go for the 4-1 setup. Potentially going for the one to defend on whichever Golden Lions is going for the push, and let the Ford get the kill against Golden Lions. I'm looking at Rengar as well, because if you're looking at it, he already has 0-1-2. So 10% damage increase already from his passive alone. With the Trinity Force already built up, that is gonna hurt. Every time he goes for the skill, there is extra magic damage that will follow up, and this is gonna be very devastating. If Warlocks let this happen, this is not looking that great. But still, I like how they're holding on. They've not yet given Golden Lions the third objective in the mid lane, so it does giving them more opportunity to bring back the map control, and Golden Lions still needs to do a lot of things to gain the overall dominance against Warlocks.
Yeah, and I like that there is a Cloud Drake coming up, right? So I think value-wise, that Cloud Drake, if Warlocks are able to somehow get that Cloud Drake, it will benefit them over there on their side. I really think Cloud Drake works really well on an Ezreal as well. Just because Ezreal's such a mobile champion in the first place, and you throw in, some movement speed in there. And Ezreal's later in the game, mid towards late game, can really make a difference. I mean, if an Ezreal is allowed to just poke from the back, avoid getting caught, he can really turn the tide for those matches by just chunking the enemy team slowly down, right? So I think they are going to prioritize this dragon here. Again, it's just going to come down to that execution for this team fight.
Definitely, as you have Golden Lions right now hovering into the mid lane, while Darius goes and disrupt the enemy team, cutting out the lane. So putting that Rift Herald into the mid lane disrupts how Warlocks think as well, in addition to how Tokage works. So Golden Lions is going to secure Cloud Dragon with no contest from Warlocks, as Warlocks is now looking for mid.
Yeah, so here comes the curse right there. There's the dash, the Cyclone coming out, but here comes Darius from the back lanes, and now the Moonfall comes in from the Diana, and there's so much damage again. Ezreal in the back lane just able to poke and do his thing. There's the disengage, but again, that was actually a good thing that Warlocks was able to disengage there, because you have so much damage from Golden Lions, and you can see them right here. They cleared the wards, they got the ultimate from Verisov, and now look at the damage right here on top of Rengar. Good thing he got taken down right there by the Fizz. And again, Ezreal in the back lane is important there. They have to keep that Ezreal alive.
And that is what I'm saying, right? If Golden Lions go very aggressive, you have Warlocks with a single targeted CCs in the form of the Headbutt and the ultimate of a Fizz that can disrupt the enemy team. And that is how they brought down Wisdomus with the Rengar in today's matchup. So that is going to be something that we need to take note in the future fights, as we have another one in the mid lane.
Yep, another ult going down, and it looks like Alistair's going to survive there just in time. And again, so slowly but surely, Warlocks are starting to get those items, starting to build that damage. You can see, you know, Rengar doing his thing again, still taking pieces of the jungle from Mischance over here, and now he's gonna go ahead and get that blast cone out of there just to be sure. But again, and here we go, sitting in the bush, goes ahead. The Chum of the Waters is out. Again, they're on top of the Rengar. Here comes a teleport as well from Darius. They do get the Rengar out, but here comes again the teleport, and they're able to take down Fizz. And now they're working on Garen Blues, trying to flash out of there. Again, Ezreal, Pineapple, trying to get out. Again, they're going to go ahead and survive there, but just a couple pickoffs there in the jungle.
History repeats itself, Naisu. Warlocks did it again. Stellar with the ultimate onto Wisdom, bringing him down in a blink of an eye, forces out 2 TPs from these 2 teams, and Moonfall did not actually connect to anyone, maybe just one, but not enough to bring them down, as Tokage very low.
Yeah, I think they also need to watch out for those, you know, those chains of corruption coming out from, you know, Ducks on this Varus, because really that can spell disaster for Warlocks. I think they're doing a good job at avoiding that, though, because, you know, right now, if we look at Golden Lions, they do have a lot of setup potential. Not only, you know, they can start things from Chains of Corruption, they can start things from the Glacial Fissure, and here comes the ultimate from Rengar. He's looking, but he goes ahead and pulls off there. He did try to go on top of the Alistar, but, you know, he's going to safely just back off there. And again, they're holding it down here at the mid lane, probably just waiting for the next objective to come up.
Yeah. So I think right now, Warlocks in a 10k gold disadvantage, not looking that great. But as we've seen in the past week, wherein one mistake actually just disrupted the whole storyline of the game, I think that is what Warlocks is looking forward into. You have the Baron Nashor still alive, but top lane though, we have a 2v1.
Yeah, 2v1. Fizz gonna go ahead and get taken down there. Now Blue working on top here. Can he get the kill on the Varus? And now it's a 3-OK. Gets taken down. That's the shutdown they needed. Again, we were just talking about picks. They did lose that mid turret, but they ultimately got a shutdown there. Here comes the initiation from the Alistar as well. They're still looking to start. There's the Chains of Corruption, unfortunately getting the clone. Nice job by the clone. There you go. The Ezreal finally getting taken out and pulled there, but there's so much CC and slows available. There's the Noxian Guillotine. Again, Alistar, but the flash coming in, and the Noxian Guillotine quadra kill right there from Mr. Toke. How do you say his name? Tokage. Coming down with the Noxian Guillotine. And again, you know, you just don't want to give those stacks to Darius, because this is exactly what's happening. The double kill into the triple to the quadra, and just so much damage from that Noxian might buff.
Yeah, it's a 4-man slum down coming in from Tokage in that fight. And I think that is not something that you want to do against a Darius. You know, let Golden Lions get those heal against Warlocks, put them in a very bad shape in terms of their HP. And that is where Tokage just went for the dunk, duck, he went for the flash, then dunk once again, got the quadra kill easy. So I think that is something that Warlocks needs to avoid, especially right now, wherein Darius already got the Black Fever, already the Sterak's in the TP as well, wherein he can respond quickly if the enemy team wants to go aggressive against Golden Lion. So Warlocks, you need to play safe. You need to look for an opportunity to get the Baron Nashor at the hands of Golden Lions. If you do so, there is still going to be an opportunity, but if you don't, it's not looking that great for your team.
Yeah, I mean, Warlocks do really need to find some type of answer here, because they're slowly getting, you know, further and further behind the gold lead, the dragon buff and everything. And realistically, at this point in the game, it's going to come down to, are they able to survive long enough? I mean, we see them trying to initiate here and there, but at the same time, when it comes to itemization, buffs, you know, realistically, Golden Lions have that huge advantage right now. So if they can just take their time and keep farming up, maybe there can turn out to be something here, you know, towards the end game where their mistake is made. But right now, Golden Lions is not even giving them that opportunity.
Speaking of opportunity, this is what Warlocks is looking forward into.
There's the stasis coming out from the Fizz. able to survive here. The initiation right on top of Toge. They do get a pick off, but he's so alive. He has the GA potential, and now Diana in the back lane does get 2 people with the Moonfall, but it's not going to be enough. Another Stasis coming out, and now Garen working on the Rengar to save his life, and Ezreal still in the back lane there, not able to get anybody down there, as Golden Lions are still alive. Now they're under the turret, and there you go, the Noxian Guillotine once again coming down. Fizz, the only survivor, Stellar, retreating to the base as Golden Lions looking to end game number 1 of the series. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be it. They take out the Fizz not just yet. He's able to get to the fountain. Okay, he survives, but that's going to be the game right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Golden Lions taking game 1 of the series right there. What a game.
That Tokage going in for the slam dunks in that matchup. That is something that I wasn't expecting. I was looking forward into Wisdomus actually going all in that matchup, just decimating the enemy team. But no. It was Tokage doing all the job, obliterating
Look
the
at the
enemy
badges.
team. Yeah, they were annihilating each and every members of Warlocks in that game number 1. And I want to see that happen once again in game number 2. What can Tokage bring further in the next matchup? And now Warlocks need to think, are we now going to prioritize onto banning out the Darius of Tokage? Or are we going to let other champions come through? Because I think there are a lot of champions from that game number 1 that you could look into and say, you know what, we need to ban that. And I'm looking at the Yana. I'm looking at Darius, and what Warlocks needs to prioritize is up to them for game number 2.
Yeah, and I think, Darius is one of those characters that you don't want to give those type of kills. You don't want him to snowball, because we just saw right there, he just turns into a huge threat. And I think it was paired really well with Diana, because, coming in from a Moonfall puts everyone there where Darius can just build up those stacks really quickly and just bring down that Noxian Guillotine on whoever he wants to, right? So I think that was a great combination coming out from the Golden Lions. And now, as you said, Warlocks have to figure out how to stop that from happening.
Yeah, it's a slam dunk fest. It's a slam dunk fest from Golden Lions, and I'm excited for game number 2. What are the champions that are gonna come up? And with that win from Golden Lions, at the very least, they've gotten 1 more point in addition to their standings right now. They reached up 7 points, dominating every single matchup in their group stage for Group A. Are they gonna do it today once again for game number 2, or can Warlocks bring it down and get the first win against Golden Lions?
Yes, sir. And one thing I want to do before we get into game 2 is give a shout out to the sponsors. The University Alliance Cup wouldn't be a thing without our amazing sponsors and partners. UAC 2021 is powered by Globe Telecom, our official teleco sponsor, ASUS ROG Phone 5, our presenting sponsor, and Logitech 5, and also Riot Games, of course, and a Twitch student.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, they are the reason for this tournament to be a reality and come into fruition for the day. And Naisu, you know what? I'm expecting for game number 2 a lot of things right now. Tokage once again very dominating, and you know what? Maybe another champion. If Darius gets banned out, there is the Garen available. I wanna see Singe once again, because I think Singe is an underrated champion and he can do a lot of things against mobile champions. If the enemy team has an Ezreal, if the enemy team has Diana, a Kaisa, just go for the adhesive. They cannot do anything, and I think that could have a lot of potential when it comes to the 5v5 team fight. If you want to have an individual strong champion, the Garen is also available. So I think when the Darius is not going to be available, Golden Lions can pick those other 2 champions.
Yeah, and I think, Garen is one of those picks. Obviously, like I mentioned before that game, he is a strong pick. But if his team isn't able to capitalize on such as a Garen pick, or he's not able to really fit into that mold really well, he's kind of not useless, but he's just not able to be utilized correctly, So hopefully Warlocks have an answer here for game 2. We're going to see how they go into this draft and what they decide to pick. We do have our bans, by the way. For those of you that are watching the bans, currently we have that Lee Sin ban right there. And we do have that second ban of being Akali, of course. So again, I'm expecting if a Darius ban does not come out, if it doesn't come out, there's possibly going to be Darius again.
Mm-hmm.
Here for Tokage.
Yeah, though I respect how Warlocks is doing the draft right now. They're
Mm.
respecting those individual flexible champions that could dominate into the Rift. I mean, Lee Sin. Jungle, when you have that, you cannot pick just about any ADCs, but if Lee Sin just jumps in, Dragon's Rage, you're gonna be annihilated because of the wombo combo of a Lee Sin onto single targeted champions. And a Gragas is also flexible. It can go anywhere. It could go mid lane, support, it can go Baron. Hell, it could go anywhere. So I think having these two bans coming in from Warlocks, you know what? We're respecting those flexible champions aside from Darius. We're gonna let it through for now because we have something else prepared.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have an answer for that Darius if they decide to pick that again for Golden Lions. And I was actually really happy to see Varus last game. I'm not sure if we'll see him again this game. I think he did really well. Of course, you know the thing about Varus, very vulnerable, right? Very
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable. But I will say that when it comes to Chains of Corruption, if landed correctly, that is very high value. It can really set things up for the team. And it's one of those, he's one of, the thing I like about Varus is he's one of those ADCs that can start fights or use it as a disengage, right? And we saw
Mm-hmm.
it a couple times there in game one. And again, it's really going to be interesting to see what ADCs are picked in this tournament. I mean, this tournament as a whole. And because Kai'Sa's still, Kai'Sa is still dominant ADC, right? We do see a lot of Kai'Sa. But overall, I think it's nice seeing other ADCs picked. Tristana, Varus. It'd be interesting to see a Vayne or an Ashe, right? But realistically, too, the support picks are going to be important for those ADCs. And, we still see a lot of Braum, surprisingly. We still see a lot of Braum. We see a lot of Alistar. I think they're one of the two tankiest supports available for picking, especially in the competitive scene. And, I would love to see, as you mentioned, you would love to see a Singe. I would love to see a Leona play or a TF play. TF did just recently get a very minor buff to him. So I would like to see these picks here. Again, there's so many changes happening slowly. There's so many changes happening. I mean, even with, like you mentioned, that Rengar slight nerf. And I just think more and more team compositions are starting to be available here. So we're really going to just have to see how these two teams draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like how you mentioned how Varus is gonna work out. And I think the reason for that one, if you look at other champions, ADC to be more specific, is you have Ezreal with an Arcane Shift. That is an escape route. Kai'Sa with a supercharge. That is also an escape route for extra survivability. And Vayne does not Vayne, but Varus doesn't have any of those. He only has damage output, he only has CC potentials. So I am agreeing with your statement a while ago is that Varus is so hard to be played with because the mobility is absent on that champion. And that is the reason why when you're playing in League of Legends, we're gonna jump in a bit, but if you play Varus, you're probably gonna have Tom Kench because Tom Kench is also a champion that could just suck him up and bring him out of a team fight. So I think before then, we really don't see Varus currently in the meta.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, we're not blessed with Tom Kench and Wild Rift yet.
Yeah.
Maybe someday, I'm sure. But we have the picks coming out here. We have an Ari, we have a Ziggs. Always interesting matchups in mid. I do really enjoy mid lane matchups, and I think in terms of, an Ari versus a Ziggs here. They're both great pushers. They both provide lots of utility. I feel like everybody says Ziggs is the demolisher of turrets, which he is, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a lot of utility packed into Ziggs's kit. I mean, even with a satchel charge, he can disrupt a lot of, important ultimates or even just displace people in certain situations, such as a dragon or a Rift Herald or a Baron. And, I love seeing Ziggs played really, really well. I think Ari, in terms of Ari here, there's not as much control over a map because she doesn't have like a Mega Inferno Bomb, right? But it is going to be interesting to see how they match up at the mid lane.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of interesting, we see a Nasus from Warlocks. and we see a Yasuo from Golden Lions. And yes, this is still not locked in. Although I spoke too quickly because Fearless is gonna lock into Yasuo as the last pick here for Golden Lions. And I think the reason why I said it's interesting, because if you look at the draft of Golden Lions, the only one that could help him set it up is gonna be Tokage. Right?
Hmm.
I know not Tokage, but Fearless rather, as a support with a Braum, with a Glacial Fisher. Aside from that, I think it's gonna be hard for um Yasuo to just go all in terms of that team fight, because traditionally when you have a Yasuo, you want to have a Wukong to set it all up for that champion, right? But I think this is going to be very strong, as you have a lot of mobile champions coming in from Warlocks as well. So Yasuo could just play around and go all in into the backside. Having that backline access is going to be very important. And I think Camille has a huge role to play here to counter against the Yasuo. If the Glacial Fisher connects against him in a 5v5, Camille needs to act fast. That hook shot is going to go stun, and I think that needs to connect onto Yasuo.
Yeah, and again, Nasus is one of those picks too that we just, you know, Nasus can either be a really good pick if the game gets dragged on long enough, so it's going to be interesting to see how Nasus performs here. And I mean, it is a Camille jungle, which I like to see, and we have both teams setting up here, but I want to go ahead and give this one. I do want to say we have a lot of action here in mid, but I do want to say Warlocks, I like their team composition this time around more than the previous game, and it's just going to be interesting how they respond to this type of jungle aggression, because same thing happened first game, tons of jungle aggression, and how are they going to respond to that?
Yeah, it's just the composition of Golden Lions that enables them to go for this aggressive type of gameplay. They go in for the 1-1-2-1, which means they have the 4-man roam readily available for their team in the early aggression type of setups. In addition to that one, they have Fearless with the Braum once again. And concussive blows is gonna be hectic when it comes to the first 1 minute of the game. It doesn't really matter if you're very strong individually as a champion, because we can just stun you up in just 5 basic hits from the Braum alone. And that is not just any stuns, because that lasts for like a second or so, which is really big, especially level 1 where everyone is low HP and low base stats. So I like how Golden Lions is doing so right now when it comes to early game, punishing the early jungle, especially Camille that doesn't really have the capability to go for the fast clears onto jungle camps, is really getting a huge part against Warlock.
Yeah, and there's going to be, pretty much the setup here for the Scuttles as they go ahead and start to secure those in those respective rivers. And I just realized too, this is the support Nasus. I've actually seen this before too, a Nasus paired with at the time though, it was a Draven, and it actually ended up working pretty well. He does have that slow potential, also can reduce armor, and again, it's gonna be interesting, because will he be able to get the stacks is the question mark, here, if he can actually build that damage. But I think they're utilizing Domat here more for those slows, more for that, kind of that debuff of armor and everything. And we're gonna see how that goes, because if you have, Corki shredding some armor, you have Nasus there, it'll be interesting to see how team fights play out.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the consensus here. Domant is not going to prioritize onto getting those stacks, because he is going to build onto AP instead of AD. If you're looking at the runes right now, he has Aerie as his keystone rune. So I think Nasus with AP doesn't really care about those stacks. What he cares about is getting those early lead, getting his teammates stack up and go for the early power spike, because right now that AB Nasus actually kind of works. But if you play it correctly, Nasus right now with an AP build needs to just go into the back lines, just go for those slows against the enemy team, and as you stated, it shreds armor. And I think that is where Warlocks is gonna centralize on how they work in a 5v5.
Yeah, I think that the shredding armor aspect of this whole composition for Warlocks is gonna, if it's executed, well, I think it'll be very valuable for them, because they have a little bit of a tankier lineup over on Golden Lions. I mean, they have that Jarvan, they have the Braum. And again, they're going to be taking this blue buff here as a dragon does come up in 20 seconds. We're going to be looking for Omni Vamp for the first buff. It's going to be that Ocean Drake. And we're going to have to see how these team fights roll out as everybody pretty much resets, grabs their items, and sets up for that first Drake.
Yeah, that is how traditionally it works, right? If you don't go for the reset in the first 4 minutes of the game, or first 30 minutes and 40 seconds rather, to get those items, to match it up against the enemy team when it comes to the Ocean Drake objective taking, you're not gonna have a great time because the enemy team will have the item lead. But right now, I think pretty much everyone went in for the reset, so Kaisa already upgraded the AcadArena with a BF Sword, Executioner's Calling, and Longsword as well, so that's gonna deal a huge chunk of damage against Warlocks at this point in time. And still, if you see the item build, Nasa's, Ari, Garen, pretty much everyone still hasn't built up onto the first core item. So I think it's pretty much based on execution right now on who will win the potential team fight that may occur because of this dragon.
Yeah, you can see everybody going ahead and pushing out those lanes now. They're going to go ahead and probably start this dragon to really pull, you know, Warlocks into this fight because they are able to chunk them down a little bit. Again, they do have that item advantage. There's the satchel charge for protection. They're going to have to initiate here. Here comes a Glacial Fisher and the Cataclysm on top of that, but they're into the back lane. Yasuo with the knockups. The dragon still alive as well. There's the flash out from Ari. Garen trying to spin to win. Unfortunately, Tokage gonna get knocked out here. It's a 3 versus 3. Look at the damage from there. You go. The Killer Instinct is popped. The shield. Whoa, the barriers of the shields enough to keep Ducks alive. There you go. Quadra kill from the Ziggs. Everybody was focused on Ducks there. Meanwhile, Weezao on this Ziggs just pumping out the damage. You can see there was so much CC here, right? There was the damage from the Camille as well, but they couldn't catch up because of that minefield there, slowing them down. And again, that kiting potential from Ducks. And it was just such a well-placed abilities coming out from Weezao there on the Ziggs.
Yeah, they prioritized too much onto Tokage in that fight, in addition to Fearless and Wisdomus, which is not really something that you want to go for because Dux and Weezao are your main damage dealers, and Warlocks wasn't really able to capitalize onto the free hitting of Dux and Weezao in that team fight. They were pretty much free to get. They were free to kill, but Warlocks has other thing in mind. But what I do like on what they did is they have stolen the Ocean Drake. They won the Smite Wars against Golden Lions, and I think if they capitalize onto how they're doing right now, how they're stealing those certain objectives, how they're really disrupting how Golden Lions wants to go for the snowball composition, is really gonna be massive for their team as well.
Yeah, I think that Omni Vamp is going to be good for Warlocks. Obviously, there's the lifesteal available, especially for an Ari to stay alive here. There's the Charm come down. They're working on the Rift Herald now, and looks like there's the Glacial Fisher come down. Red team does secure the Rift Herald. Now the Initiation, Cataclysm, the Mega Inferno Bomb coming down as well. Ari, the Spirit Rush, but here comes the Armor Shred, the Hextech Ultimatum coming down on top of that. There's so much CC here available. Duck still alive in the back lane somehow, and there you go. There's the Yasuo showing up a little bit late to the party. Now they're working on Blue. Blue just demands the injustice. Does take down Ducks with him. And there we go. What another battle here at the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, the Glacial Fisher connected onto Stellar, delayed how it fight. That Mega Inferno Bomb, I think, was one of the MVP when it comes to the damage output. Coming in from Golden Lions, it shredded out the HP of Warlocks. And when you have those certain damage already, when you have the HP advantage, go all in, you have the potential to bring down Warlocks in a blink of an eye, and I think that is what Golden Lions did. They went golden, they went swiftly, they went efficiently in that team fight, and won them the game. So right now, 5 kill advantage for their team, 6k gold lead, and pretty much they also have the Rift Herald to then go for more turrets, in addition to their already top first blood.
Yeah, I think too, when you consider, Weezao on this Ziggs, 5-0-4, has items, has a Ludens, has a tier 2 rods there. That's a lot of damage, packed into Weezao alone. And you can see here, they're very confident. There's a Mega Inferno Bomb. The Cataclysm coming down as well on top of the blue, and he does get taken down under the turret. And there you go. This is what I'm talking about. Itemization, Mega Inferno Bomb, from mid portion of the map. It's a huge threat here. And we're talking about itemization. Ziggs has that damage. He has that, you know, he has the stuff available for him to pump out a lot of threat from anywhere on the map as long as he can reach them with that Mega Inferno Bomb.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the map awareness of Weezhou is going to be very important. I think that is one of the main damage leaders right now for Golden Lions, in addition to Duck with a Kaisa. So how Weezhou works into the backside is really doing them a favor right now in the 5v5, and therefore getting more objectives. Currently in 3 turrets taken down against Warlock. Make it a 4 as Gas was taking another in the mid lane. After that, they're going for more objectives. Mountain Dragon is going to be the next thing here for Golden Lions.
Mount Drake going to be taken there for Golden Lions, and you know, it's a good thing they did that quickly because, of course, we had Pineapple coming with that package and everything, and that could turn the tide of a team fight, you know, but we just see, you know, Weezhou picking up that cap. Finally, he does have that big power spike, you know, with a Rabadon's cap, and he's going to be even more scary at this point. And I think it's hard because Warlocks have to decide who to take down here. Is it, you know, is it Ziggs? Is it Kaisa? Like, who are they going to focus on? And at the same time, they have to be careful, as you said before, that Glacial Fissure Yasuo combo is something to watch out for as well. So I really feel like Warlocks have to be super careful in initiating certain fights and really picking their fights correctly here at this point, because, you know, right now Golden Lions just have that advantage, especially in team fights.
Definitely, and I do believe that Nasus, if he goes for the AP, he needs a lot more items than just the Luden's Echo.
Yeah.
He needs the Lich Bane, he needs to go for maybe the Rabadon's Death Cap, the Leandris is also available, and with all those power spikes that you need with an AP Nasus, having Odin already Luden's Echo in the 10 minutes of the matchup is not going to be looking that great for Domat having the AP Nasus at this point in time. So I think they really need to level up when it comes to how they want to do it, how they want to play it out, and get the objective.
Boom, the flash, the Hex Tech ultimatum coming down the mid lane, and he's trapped, but he's able to get away. Never mind the charm. Demantian Justice coming down on Ziggs too, but here comes Dux on the Kaisa. That Killer Instinct's popped, and he's going to get down the Corki. Not to mention putting out tons of damage on Domat. Domat gets taken out. Here comes Tokage looking to get a kill here again. Look at the charms coming out. Blue getting taken down to the Garen as well. And there you go. Rampage on this Yasuo. That's going to be 4 down for Warlocks. And again, Golden Lions looking to pressure here into the base now.
Their AoE CCs is top notch right now, and their turret will fall down in the mid lane in favor of Golden Lions as they receive 13k gold advantage against MCL Warlocks. And now I want to look at the ROG replay of that last engagement. I think that charm was phenomenal, but how the Glacial Fissure worked enabled Tokage to jump in with last breath against the enemy team, even though he is 1 HP, but that just gave space.
Yeah, now they're looking to gang up here on Tokage, and it's 3 versus 1. Is he going to be able to take this? He's pretty much decided he's got to fight this. He's looking to get away, but gets Demantian Justice right there by Blue. And, you know, he did get caught out. Maybe he was feeling a little confident, you know, of course, but I don't think he's confident enough to take on 1 versus 3 there. And you know, they really need to utilize Domat on this Nasus, because right now I feel like, you know, the plan isn't working. Right, Domat's taking a lot of damage for support here, and you know, like you said, he does need to get those items, because right now he's not able to do much other than slow or, you know, reduce some armor, because he needs itemization to really, and of course he has the ultimate there to beef him up a little bit, but right now he's just a little bit too far behind to really be able to be utilized correctly.
Yeah, I do agree with that statement. Wherein Warlocks is currently having kind of a shortage in terms of gold, especially with their champions that really requires a lot more items that they already have when it comes to the power spike. I mean, right now Mischance already have the Trinity Force alone with a couple of items, maybe have an item, Pineapple Trap as well. So I think if they want to go big, they need to do a lot more. They need to capitalize on what the lanes are providing them when it comes to the gold. They need to overall get what they need in the jungle and just disable how Golden Lions is currently just going for the objectives easy peasy without any contest.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised too. You know, they're just, you know, we saw it there. They gave up that dragon, no contest. And I think Warlocks has just decided, you know what, we just need to farm up. We need to farm up. We need to get items. We really can't beat these guys in team fights. And again, they're giving up a Baron here. It could be a mix of just farming up and also not having, they don't have that vision available to them. And now the Baron's going to be taken right here for Golden Lions, and they're going to be looking to charge down mid. Again, Stellar getting caught out. There's the Killer Instinct, the initiation from Dux. Here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb, not to mention the Glacial Fissure, the Demantian Justice as well. Camille left by herself, going to get taken out. Never mind, she's able to survive, and there you go. They're taking a lot of damage under the turret, though, unfortunately. Getting a little too confident there. And they do get taken down. Dux gets taken down, but again, Golden Lions still 3 alive. 3 versus 2 situation here with the powered minions. They're going to be looking to end the game here. Not to mention the series. There's the flag down. Now they're working on the Nexus. The damage coming out on Mischance. And again, they're taking a lot of Nexus shots. But there's the Mega Inferno Bomb taking out Corki. And now they're working on the Nexus. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That's going to be the game number 2. Going over to Golden Lions for that series as well. Infinity, what do you think about that game?
It was a landslide of a game. It was a snowball coming from Golden Lions. I think they got the early aggressive type of play that they were known for. That was synonymous from them in week number 1. They were very aggressive. First minute of the matchup, they were diving under the enemy jungle camps. They got the blue buff, disabled how Mischance is really gonna play out his own jungle. And typically what happens is, if you have a Camille in the jungle, you need to leash. And when there is no leash, Camille is gonna fall down behind. And if there is a blue buff that was stolen away from you, that increases the amount of delay that will come into your team. And Camille is a champion that is not really that strong when it comes to clearing out jungle camps. And Golden Lions prioritized onto that one. You know what? Let's delay Camille. Let's put him down. Let's disable how he will actually play out in the first 4 minute matchup, and later on disables his power spike. And Golden Lions did a very, very great job to do so.
Yeah, I think that was a great job, and again, congratulations. And I believe we're going to be taking a quick break, Infinity, and we'll be jumping into the next series after this short break. So hold tight, guys, and see you soon.
Why don't you watch me do my thing? Reinvent the world, yeah. Just to be more, just to be better, just to evolve, just to evolve, just to be more, just to be better, just to evolve, just to evolve.